All right, guys, welcome back to another Master and Apprentice video and podcast. As you guys can see, we got Athen back in the routine of it, and we thought for his first normal video, obviously our last video was a little bit of a special one, we'd get into something we haven't done in a minute. We try to do an annual tier list for Star Wars, and we're going to change it up a little bit this year instead of having to go through each Star Wars project. We're going to add the new projects and then move stuff if we need to. Instead of having to go through every project independently, it's just going to take too long. We keep getting more stuff. There's no reason to go through everything again and again and again. So we'll leave the tier list as it is. I'll read it off. At the bottom, we have straight up arse with The Last Skywalker. Then we go to Not Satisfactory with Tales of the Empire leading it. And then we have The Acolyte, and then we have The Last Jedi, and then Book of Boba Fett. Then we go to the Meh category, leading with Skeleton Crew, Kenobi, Andor, and then Visions. I think that's what it's called, right? Visions, Star Wars Visions.
Yeah.
The anime project. Then we go to Ait. On top of that, we have Attack of the Clones, then A New Hope, then Bad Batch, then Ahsoka, then The Mandalorian, then Solo, then Force Awakens, then the Clone Wars movie, a short project, and then I believe that's the original Clone Wars show after that, or is that Phantom Menace? No, that's not Phantom Menace. I think that's the original Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And after that, we go to the great category, second from the top, starting off with Rogue One, then Clone Wars, then Rebels, and then we get Phantom Menace, and lastly Tales of the Jedi. And that leaves us with a top of the top, cream of the top, George Lucas, leading with Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, and Empire Strikes Back. Now, before we get into anything, is there anything you want to move? Like anything you've seen of recent, like you've rewatched it and you've kind of like changed your opinion, or some, maybe some insight you had heard in the last year that you want to change anything around, Afton?
Besides the season twos, I like the extra season shows. I almost want to push Ahsoka up one, but it's not. I wouldn't put it above Bad Batch. I don't think there's anything I could change here, honestly. Like besides the extra seasons on shows.
No, I agree. I think Ahsoka is a little bit better. I rewatched it. I don't know if I had watched it the second time when we did this original tier list, but I agree. It's better than I remembered. It's better than a lot of stuff in that category. I will say I had heard a bunch of different perspectives on The Last Jedi, and I rewatched it in the last 3 or 4 months. I can't remember exactly when it was. That's not as bad as I remembered. I don't know if it initially moves up a whole another category, but I would be willing to move it up above The Acolyte, above Tales of the Empire. It's not as bad as I remembered. So I don't know how you feel about that one.
I mean, they're on the same category. Go ahead.
Okay.
They're on the same category for a reason. I mean, I'm not too worried about moving it up one or two. The Acolyte, I mean, besides the Book of Boba Fett, those are all just completely forgettable. And now that I think about it, the Book of Boba Fett is right there in forgettable too.
I'm willing to move Book of Boba Fett down one. I hate it.
Yeah,
it's like my least.
The more I think about it, man, it's like
that show
it has some bad build up, and the ending is just horrible. And the best shows didn't even have the character
parts
in it.
About it. Yeah, there's some cool parts about it, but like I think all of these have cool parts about it, so that can't really be a defining trait to save it. Yeah. If we don't want to move anything per se, that's okay. I'd be willing to move a couple things, but if you're not really feeling the mood to change anything, I think we can start off with Andor Season 2. Now, we have it right in the middle, right in Meh, and it's in the middle of Meh. Andor Season 1 is not my favorite. A lot of people like to give it this title of peak or whatever, and I think that's stupid. I'm going to go out and say it. I don't think those are real Star Wars fans. Not that you don't like Star Wars. I'm not necessarily even gatekeeping. I just don't think Andor's Star Wars. This is something that like I think about a lot. Because not even that I think it's bad. I think it's actually pretty good. But like every time I watch it, I'm like, this just doesn't feel like it fits into the rest of Star Wars. It's very disappointing to me. And I've kind of come to the fact, if you have a problem with Andor, or you don't have a problem with Andor, being the way it is, being unique, right? It's a very different version of Star Wars. That's fine, but you can't have a problem with like the Mandalorian and Grogu or Solo: A Star Wars Story, because those are very different tastes of Star Wars, right? They're very contained, very boxed in, and a lot of people don't like that about those movies. Then you have to have the same, in my opinion, you have to have the same feel for it, because it's just a different flavor. It's just a different flavor of the week. So I want to start with that. I don't like season one. It's not bad. It's pretty good. There's a lot of cool acting. It's a very well written TV show. I'll give you that. But when it comes to a Star Wars project, it's not good. And I'll sit here and I will argue it to Kingdom Come. But that being said, season two is a completely different story, especially the last half of season two. It hard carries. Like, I'm talking LeBron in Cleveland hard carries. The season two second half puts this in a whole new tier for me. It puts it even necessarily into great. I don't think it does, because I think season one brings it down majorly. But I would be willing to push this up to I. I don't know if I'd put it above the Mandalorian, because the Mandalorian season one and two are much better than the rest of Andor season one. But like, I don't know. I think it's better than Solo. I think it's better than Force Awakens. I think it's.
Yeah.
I would even say I think it's better than those two Clone Wars projects underneath of it. I would say it's just beneath the Mandalorian. But like I would push it up high. I really liked the second season. It felt like real Star Wars to me. It felt like there was things at risk. There was actual, the rebels and the Empire. Like, there was actually good versus evil. There wasn't this mixture, confusion of what are we actually doing? What are we fighting for?
Yeah.
That's not what Star Wars is. That's always been good versus evil, right? I mean, they don't make it more clear than like labeling the dark side and the light side of the Force. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point of Star Wars. It's supposed to be this soap opera space story, and when you try to confuse it and like make it, this convoluted thing, that's fine, but it's not Star Wars. But season two doesn't do that, and they do a good job of kind of like carrying it over, giving it a real Star Wars feeling, and doing a good job of connecting it. And that's my favorite part, is if you can do a good job of connecting it to the story, I can appreciate it for what it is, because that's what Star Wars is. It's a huge, expansive universe that builds upon itself. And so I really, really like season two, and I think it carries it into the next category, and for me.
Yeah, I was going to say, if we separate them by seasons, I think it'd be in great, if not like almost above Rebels, but obviously we don't do that because it's got to be how well-rounded, which I think that's exactly what puts Mandalorian above it, is that the Mandalorian has... season 2 is definitely like probably the best season of Mandalorian, but it's not... It doesn't have as low lows as Andor had. Season 1 Andor is just unrecognizable from Season 2. I mean, Ahsoka is probably getting some kudo points because it only has one season. It has a low sample size, You don't... If you made 4 seasons of that, it might be a bit lower because we don't know how they'd go out. So that's kind of why it's a bit higher, in my opinion. Andor, over the 2 seasons, I'd rather have a pretty good, consistent show than a high and a low. And I mean, it's less forgettable than Solo Story. I mean, Solo Story is a great movie. It's fun to watch, but I remember a lot more about Andor than Solo Story, and I've watched them about the same recency.
Yeah, so I'd probably put it right beneath Mando and right above Solo. Season 2 is good. Season 1, I'm not even saying Season 1's bad. We have it in the middle, right? It's okay. It's just not my favorite thing. It's got to do a lot to carry it, and Season 2 does do a lot to carry it. So I'm fine with pushing it up a whole rank because of Season 2. Then we go into Tales of the Underworld. We get these Tales series almost once a year, it feels like now, with Tales of the Jedi. Then we had Tales of the Empire. Then last year, Tales of the Underworld. I don't think we're getting one this year. They might be skipping. That's because they have another animated project that already came out this year, as we'll talk about here in a second. But Tales of the Underworld came out last year, and I think for the most part it was perceived fairly well. For me, I liked pretty much all parts of it, from Asajj Ventress's story to Bane. I don't think it is as good as Tales of the Jedi. I think Tales of the Jedi is a little bit better for me, but it's definitely a much better written and I think received story than Tales of the Empire. So start off, it goes somewhere between those two, which leaves us in either meh or ite. I read it as ite. I don't think it's meh. I don't think it's like eh. I really like the Cad Bane story. Cad Bane's just one of those characters who is always kind of around, right? He since the Clone Wars, he's just kind of popped up more and more often. And, to kind of get some actual backstory on the character for the first time ever, and it's not bad, it's actually interesting written, I think is good. And Asajj is, officially bringing her back into the mix of it, with the Bad Batch, and then obviously with her story in Dark Disciple. I think doing it well in Tales of the Underworld was a brilliant idea. So I like it somewhere in eight. I don't know exactly where, but that's where I'm feeling.
Yeah, I'm in the top half of I8 right now, because the more I think about it, I mean, we had loose ends with Asajj Ventress from Bad Batch. We're like, how's she alive? We saw her die. And this, no, sorry, we didn't see her die. She died in a book. And, I mean, I remember for a year I was like, this doesn't make any sense. They're not explaining it, what happened here. And not only did they correct it, it's not like one of those, oh, they thought she died. It was a really good bring back, at least in my opinion, where it explained it very well. There was sacrifice that went into it, so it's not like it's a death that was, well, that was pointless in the book, It was very emotional, very good. And then the Cad Bane storyline. I mean, if this was made as a show, live action, animated, however, and it had nothing to do with Star Wars, that Cad Bane storyline would just pull at your heartstrings right there. Like, that was so well written there. I mean, I find it hard to put it above anything in the original trilogy. I'd almost put it above Bad Batch. I'm not entirely sure.
That's kind of where you fight. It's like, where are you putting it? I'd say the problem with comparing something like this to something like Bad Batch is Bad Batch has 2 or 3 seasons. I think it's 3, right? But they've got 16 or 12 episodes per season. There's a lot of filler, right? This is
like 2 episodes.
6 episodes, and they're like 10 minutes. It's very concise, right to the point. They're not really filling stuff in. And so I think just because of that, I'd put it a little bit above Bad Batch. There's not really something that's dragging it down, right? Ahsoka and Mando are great, but the finale of Ahsoka brings it down a little bit for me, right? The rest of Ahsoka I really liked, but the finale is why did we do that? And season 3 of Mando brings it down for me, right? So it's those both are both good shows in my opinion, but they have some things that just bring it down a little bit above, beneath this show, which really doesn't have anything wrong with it. It's not the most banger, out of the universe crazy show, but there's nothing wrong with it. I'm having a hard time thinking about it in a Star Wars universe, and the way it's written, the way it's animated. I'm having a hard time finding something that I would peel it back further for.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, so it'd be really hard to rank these. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it is, and I'll say, all the ones that are close to each other, they all have, at least for me, room to move, up or down, but until you get past meh, it's you could argue and switches around for me, right? But beneath that, you get to Tales of the Empire, Boba Fett, The Last Skywalker, those are all diarrhea poop. I don't care about those. But everything above that, pretty much, I can make a strong case for all of them going up in certain stories. But just I guess recency bias compared to Bad Batch and all these other shows, I'd probably put a little bit higher than Bad Batch, but definitely not above New Hope. Honestly, I want to move New Hope up to great. New Hope, I definitely sleep on a lot, but the original trilogy is just so beautiful. I kind of want to put New Hope above Phantom Menace. I'm feeling that right now. What do you think?
I'm not opposed, man. I mean, there's plot holes, there's this or that or whatever. It's where it started. It's a damn great story. It was meant to be standalone. It would be great standalone. I mean, I don't have a problem either way. Those are neck and neck to me.
Yeah, I feel just because I'm seeing it right now, I say we move A New Hope up past Phantom Menace. I wouldn't put it past Rebels, but I would put it past Phantom Menace. Then I'd slip Tales of the Underworld right between Attack of the Clones and Bad Batch. With that, we go to our next project. Came out just recently, animated Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord. Again, another greatly animated project. I think that's kind of what replaced the Tales series this year. I think they try to aim for at least one animated project a year. That seems like that's what they've been consistently doing for the last 4 or 5 years. So I think that's what this project was for this year, because they always do it around the same time, right around May, and they just kind of filled that void. Very good. I really, really enjoyed it. I gotta say, there were some things I was kind of disappointed about, but this is on par with Bad Batch for me. There's not as much filler in this. I personally think this is above Bad Batch. I personally think this is above Tales of the Underworld that we just talked about. This is like, do we put this above Attack of the Clones or below Attack of the Clones? Do we put this above Tales of the Jedi or below Tales of the Jedi? That's kind of where I'm at. I
Yeah.
really, really liked it. The finale was fantastic. I liked a lot about the show. There's some things that are weird, like the power scaling of some certain characters, but like that's kind of Star Wars in general. There's just weird things here and there, so like I'm not gonna nitpick too hard on it. There's not a lot of like glaring issues, so I really, really liked it. It's got me actually really, really excited going forward. So especially because where Star Wars is at right now, it's hard for me to get excited for Star Wars projects. So for it to get me excited about season 2 means a lot, and I just think I'm really excited. And it's obviously a little bit of recency bias. I just finished watching it like a month ago. It's May right now, right? May 24th. So about 2-3 weeks ago, we just finished wrapping this up, watching this series. So it's just kind of fresh on my mind. I really, really enjoyed it. But what do you think?
I mean, it was a great show. If I'm sitting here thinking about flaws, I don't know if I could point a big one out at all. And that's kind of the reason I want to put it right above Attack of the Clones, because start to finish, there was nothing
The more I think about it, the power scaling is kind of crazy to me. And every time I really sit and think about it, I'm like, ugh.
What are you saying? The fact that Maul is like dueling 2 Inquisitors and then somehow survives against Vader?
Well, it's just like Maul sometimes is a wimpy little kid who can't pull his own slack, but other times is like he's or farming while he's dueling. It's like they don't really like. It's hard for them to pick and choose what he's actually doing. Same thing with Devin. Devin's like this new random character, and like I actually really like her character, but like at some point she's like consistently holding her own against these Inquisitors who are kicking Maul's ass. It's like, where's the power scaling right there? You know what I mean? Like, why is she able to hold her own very consistently and well, but Maul's struggling? And we see Maul, kick some serious butt in Star Wars. So it's just like, that's when I sit and think about it really, really hard. I'm like, that's just weird to me.
Well, I could put it either way. I wouldn't be disappointed to put it below Attack of the Clones.
A little bit above Attack of the Clones.
Above? Okay.
The finale of the final act of Attack of the Clones is so good. A lot of people hate the first half of that movie, but you get to that second half, that last
after
half,
they're on Geonosis,
it's hard to beat.
Yeah.
So I'd put it above Tales of the Underworld. Would you agree with that?
It's good by me. I mean, yeah, they're
okay. Above Tales of the Underworld.
I love that we're calling it and these are like amazing projects that I would totally watch again in a heartbeat. I'm just gonna rename it.
Yeah, I and Meh too.
Yeah, it needs to be. Needs to be closer to great than Meh.
I think we could. What if we switch great to Ait and then switch what great was to peak? So instead of Ait,
so Ait is great and great is peak.
And then yes, so it goes George Lucas peak, great, meh, not satisfactory, straight up arse.
I mean that works for me because everything in the Ait category is great, and everything in the great category is peak.
People overuse that word. Peak doesn't necessarily mean top. It just means really good.
Oh yeah, it's
right. And I would say Rogue One, Clone Wars, Rebels. I don't know if I would say Phantom Menace. I'd say Phantom Menace is Phantom Menace is peak for sure. Tales of the Jedi. A lot of these movies.
New Hope, yeah. I'm good with that. We'll hit that rename.
Okay. All right. So we'll rename that, and then we'll put the top of great Attack of the Clones, then Maul, then Tales of the Underworld. And then lastly, that brings us obviously the newest project. We just had the review on our channel. Go check it out. The quality is a little bit diarrhea poop, but that's okay. It's IRL, so give us some forgiveness. But the Mandalorian and Grogu, the first time we've had a Star Wars movie in almost 8 years on the big screen, so pretty big deal. It obviously is a little bit of a weird one because this one's not necessarily standalone. It's building off of a TV show, which we have already ranked in here. Which, that being said, I was thinking about it today and yesterday. I really feel like this movie did a good job of like kind of standing on its own feet, not necessarily building off of the show too much. Like, it doesn't even necessarily try to explain who the Mandalorian and Grogu are. It just kind of like puts you there and like kind of shows you the relationship between the characters, and then like goes from there, which I think is totally fine. It doesn't necessarily try to build off of anything really, which I really liked. I think if they really tried to build off of the show, that would have kind of negatively impacted it. But that being said, where do you see it?
I mean, I want to... I'm having a hard time, so I'm kind of starting with Solo because it gives me a lot of vibes of Solo. I liked it better than Solo, and then I'm comparing Mandalorian and Grogu against Mandalorian, and I'm like,
that's kind of where I'm at too.
that's so hard to do, you know, because the Mandalorian show had amazing, great highs, and it's like, I don't know, it's comparing itself to itself. Like, the movie would not be as great without the show. The show was maybe not bumped by the movie, but that gives you something to look forward to. I kind of want to personally put it right above it. I mean, because if you're going to average season 1, 2, and 3, it's going to be somewhere
I think we
below.
just move Andor up past Solo. So are we putting it above or below Andor? Now this is going to be interesting. Because we just moved Andor up right between Mando and what's it called? Solo.
Solo, yeah. I think.
So
I mean, I'm subject to change here. Everything is neck and neck, but I think still put Mando and Grogu right above Mandalorian because it was pretty. It had some ups, it had some downs, it had some slow parts or whatever, but the execution, in my opinion, was pretty. No, I can't put it above Mandalorian. No.
Yeah.
Above Andor, below Mandalorian.
I would be It's crazy. Because I really like Andor season 2, but I also actually really liked Mandalorian and Grogu. It's not like my favorite thing. It's still pretty low on the list overall, but like, it's not much different than Solo in my opinion. It's actually pretty close to it. Hence why it's really close to it. Andor, I think, is just I just really didn't like season 1. The more I think
that's
about
what it is for me.
maybe I need to go back and binge watch it because that might also help my point of view. And
Yeah.
I'll be blatantly honest that I probably need to do that. But just the more I think about season 1, I really didn't like season 1. So I think if I can, maybe for now, time being, until I rewatch Andor, I'd probably put Mandalorian and Grogu beneath the Mandalorian, but above Andor.
Yeah, I think that's what I do. I mean, yeah, because if you're going to go Mandalorian and Grogu and say that the second half was amazing and the first half was alright, well, Andor, the second half was amazing and the first half was, in my opinion, a little bit below alright.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. So that leaves us with our list. At the bottom, we have straight up arse with The Last Jedi. Then we go to not satisfactory. I want to move Tales of the Jedi or The Last Jedi up, but we're going to leave it for now because Evan hasn't seen it in a while. So we'll leave that. But with not satisfactory, we have Tales of the Empire, Acolyte, The Last Jedi, and then Book of Boba Fett. I want to move Book of Boba Fett down to
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Let's do it.
I'm moving Book of Boba Fett down to straight up arse. It's like literally one of my least favorite Star Wars projects. There's good stuff in it for sure, but like there's also some really dog water pee pee poo poo stuff in there that I hate. So then we go to Meh, which has Skeleton Crew, Kenobi, and Visions. Then we go to It. Starting at the top, we have what's it called? Attack of the Clones. Then we had Maul Shadow Lord. Then Tales of the Underworld. Then Bad Batch. Then Ahsoka. Then The Mandalorian, then The Mandalorian Grogu, then Andor, then Solo, and then what's that? Force Awakens, the Clone Wars movie, and then the original Clone Wars series, and then jump up to did I say I or did I say great?
You said I, but that was great. This is peak.
Yeah, great. So that was great. Sorry. Then we go to peak, which has Rogue One, Clone Wars, Rebels, A New Hope, Phantom Menace, and Tales of the Jedi. And then lastly, we have George Lucas with Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, and Empire Strikes Back. Sounds good?
Yeah, I like it for now.
All right. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments where you guys agree, disagree. One of these days, I want to do, I forget what the website's called, but like you can like rank projects or whatever. Instead of doing like a tier list, it's a ranking system. And it's usually for like movies or like series or whatever. So I would like to do that with just the movies because now I think we have what 13 movies.
We have the original projects 9, 12.
We have
unless
the
you count
9,
the Christmas special,
and then you have the 2 during the Disney, then Mandalorian Grogu, so that's 12. But then if you count the Clone Wars movie or not, that's 13. Because the Clone Wars movie is an actual movie, so that would be 13 in total.
That is true.
Which is a good chunk of movies, you know what I mean? We're not quite the MCU yet, but we're getting there. So there you guys have it. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments. Agree, disagree, how much we're wrong and stupid. And yeah, don't forget to hit that follow, download, share, like, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace.